Okay, moving on to our language lesson, we're going to go ahead and continue reviewing. As you know, we've already jumped into chart 8, and some of these sounds are very new to the children, so I'm going to go ahead and drill chart 8 for you, because this way, you know, you're more familiar with it and you can help your child with it. So let me get started with that. Apple today? Okay, so I'm going to start right here. And we're going to go ahead and review on chart 8. Our first sound is thra in 3, r in stars, ch in church, or in morning, ow in out, o in ow in owl. And then we have OW again, but ow in owl, and then we say this OW changes. O in bowl. O in bowl. Now this week we're gonna jump right into the ones that are spelled differently, but have the same sound. In verse, in nurse, and in bird. They all have the same sound but are spelled different. So it's very important that when you're helping your children with this sound, because they're going to have a lot of words that like group 1 will have in their number 3 readers that they should be reading on, which are the I Can Read Well book 3. They will have words like this, so you need to be able to remind them that if they see IR, you are, IR, you are, IR in Bert, you are in nurse, and ER in verse. And I'm just going to write a few words here for the ER sound, and then we will go through it, marking as we usually do. Now here's one that has 2 special sounds, so you may have to help your child out with that, and I'm sure they'll do fine. Okay, so remember to just remind your child that when they're working with these 3 sounds, IR says in bird, ER says in verse, and UR says in nurse. And so we're going to go right over here to the board, and we're going to go ahead and start on the first row. So we're going to go ahead and see where we find the special sound. Okay, I see it's right in the middle, right here, boys and girls. So we would come here and circle it, and then we would read it, dirt, dirt. Now here's a little word, and the sound is right here, sir. The word is sir. Okay, here's one that's interesting. You're getting ready to go to 1st grade, and our sounds right in the middle. We have another special sound at the end of the word, but you know this, boys and girls, so I'm sure you're going to do good. Okay, so we'll go and st. So we'll go first. Okay, and then we're going to go to the UR one. Okay, now boys and girls, pay attention, because this is a new subject here. Okay, so let's go. We're circling, and the word is curve. Curve. Here's another one. Hurt. And you are in the center again, so we circle that, and it's curl. Curl. Then we have some more IR words here, and I'm just going to mark them really quick for you guys. Yes, that's right there. And this one does have 2 special sounds. Thank you, class. Wow, you're on it. Okay. Okay, so let me see. This should have been. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake on this one. Let me erase that one. Okay, so let's go to the next one. IR, firm, and two sounds here, st and This is the ER as in verse, so we go infern. And this one has two special sounds again, boys and girls. So we're gonna say sw, swerve. And the last one is term. Term. Good. And this is why, parents, I need you to continue like drilling when I say chart 6, 7, and 8, because it just refreshes their mind as to when they have sounds that were on chart 6 or 7, and it helps them. It helps them to remember those sounds and put them together. I just want to remind everybody that group 1 should be reading in this book, which is the I Can Read Well book 3, and I wrote in there the pages that they need to be reading. And then group 2, and I'm sure by now you should know it's Lacey, Anaya, Maurice, and Nolani that should be reading on book 2, I Can Read Well book 2. And then on the blog, I will always tell you when it's time to go to the next book. I would like you, as part of your language, to go ahead and discuss the word generous with your students. Just tell them that this is the word generous. You could write it on a piece of paper, or if you have a book about it, that would be great, a great enrichment. Discuss what being generous is so that your children will remember some of those skills that we were doing in the classroom. And I think that's going to be it. You will have some tests coming up, and I will leave those here at school for you to pick up, parents. So we're going to go ahead and